For the following exercises, use the graph of y equals f of x to sketch the graph of its derivative. So I'm going to show you my method for how to graph the derivative. We're going to put in values throughout this function of the slope, of the perceived slope, and then I'm going to show you how it maps to the derivative. So for this portion right here, it looks pretty steep. I'm going to call it like -4. Down here, maybe we're at -1. Right down here, we're at 0. Then we're at a slope again of -1. Then we're at, again, a slope of -4. Maybe that continues down. It still looks like -4 maybe. Now over here, we're at -1. Now we're at 0. Now we're at 1. And then it gets pretty steep. Maybe it's like 4. Maybe it's like 7 here, etc. Okay, so I'm going to map this derivative right on top. We're going to use one of these colored highlighters. So the slope values actually map to the function values of the derivative. So when the slope here is -4, that means my derivative value in the corresponding spot is going to be at -4. And then you can see as we get into this point, we're getting towards a slope of -1. So we're kind of coming up to -1. I'll put an arrow here because I believe that continues. So I'll just say that continues that way as well. Now we're at -1. And at this point, we're hitting 0, right? We're hitting a slope of 0. So we're coming up, going boop, like that. But then it goes back down negative again. Now we're going back down to -1. Now here it looks like we're going back down to -4. And we're kind of staying at that slope of -4. And then all of a sudden up here, we're coming back up to -1. So I'm coming back up to -1. And then right at 3, we're hitting 0. Okay, so now it's hitting the x-axis to indicate a slope of 0. And now we're going into the positive. Now it's shooting up and it's getting steeper and steeper. And then we can just kind of end with an arrow like that. So this is roughly how, this is a great tactic for how you can sketch a derivative atop a original function, but that's approximately how you do it. Done.